Good afternoon, dear Mr. Gordon and my group mates. Today I would like to present my speaking assignment number 1. First of all, I want to express my sincere apologies for the late submission of my speaking assignment. Unfortunately, I could not upload it in time because I had some workload at my workplace. There was some important event, and I took participation in organization of this important event that took place at my school. However, right now I have prepared a presentation, and I would like to present a presentation related to my current progress in writing my thesis paper. First of all, I need to introduce the title of my thesis, which sounds like Teachers' Experiences of the Updated Pedagogy Within the Scope of the Curriculum Reform, a case study of 2 mainstream schools in Kazakhstan. And here is a slight introduction. So, I'm really deeply interested in current curriculum reform that is being implemented throughout the Republic, and this curriculum reform is called updated curriculum. And me, as a teacher of Nazarbayev Intellectual School, which was the very first NIS network were the very first schools who appropriated updated curriculum, and right now NIS schools disseminates the experience in order to fulfill and accomplish successful transitioning to the updated curriculum. And what about the background of this curriculum reform? As you know, that after the collapse of the Soviet Union, Kazakhstan attempted to improve secondary school curriculum by various reorganizations, such as introducing Kazakh-oriented programs and increasing instructional hours on Kazakhstani history and Kazakh language. You do understand that, as you know, in Soviet times, before Kazakhstan gained its independence, the curriculum became ineffective because it was mostly teacher-centered, and there was also ineffective assessment practice, and the whole pedagogy became less effective. So that is why Kazakhstan initiated Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development to carefully examine the current state of secondary and high school education. And OECD reported that curriculum, which was inherited from Soviet Union, was mostly teacher-centered, and students obtained factual knowledge without a precise idea of practical implementation. It means that curriculum became less effective, and students had less developed functional literacy, so they didn't know exactly how to practically implement their knowledge. So that is why Kazakhstan made decision to review the content of secondary school education, and they initiated updated curriculum. So, to cut a long story short, I would like to introduce the purpose of my study. So the purpose of the current qualitative study is to investigate teachers' experiences of the updated pedagogy within the scope of national curriculum reform in one urban and one rural mainstream secondary school in Kostanay region, Kazakhstan. So I live in northern part of Kazakhstan, and I would like to investigate the teachers' experiences in our local Kosnai mainstream schools. And related to updated pedagogy, so as the current reform tries to organize a shift from old pedagogy to updated pedagogy. And one of the elements that has been implemented and updated within this pedagogy is introducing a learner-centered pedagogy. And so the current updated curriculum, the current curriculum reform actually advocates learner-centered pedagogy. So, and I would like to investigate teachers as the main stakeholders' experiences of the updated pedagogy, to what extent their pedagogy has been updated. And I want to speak about major accomplishments and challenges. And here I can define three basic topics, basic accomplishments and challenges. They are research questions, literature review, and sampling. So, and I need to start with research question. That is my major accomplishment. And when I wrote my first proposal, I formulated my initial central research question. And it sounded like, what are the experiences of rural and urban school teachers toward the updated pedagogy within the scope of the curriculum reform? And after the thesis seminar and after having consultation with my thesis supervisor, we made decision to reformulate our research question, and then we updated it. Right now it sounds like, how do teachers experience pedagogic shift associated with the updated curriculum? So, pedagogic shift, that is the focus of our research. So, I need to investigate to what extent this shift, this update has happened within the experience of teachers and within the curriculum reform that is being implemented throughout the Republic. And also, within the scope of central research question, I also formulated sub-questions. And my initial sub-questions was, unfortunately, they had very low linkage to the overarching central research question. And as you can see from sub-question number 3, do teachers of mainstream schools consider the updated curriculum as necessary national curriculum reform? So this question mostly poses yes or no answer. So it facilitates to answer yes or no. So, but then I realized that I have to pose more exploratory questions. So that is why I changed my mind and I formulated updated sub-questions. So I have formulated 4 sub-questions to my central research question. So here you can see them. So, and in the next slide you can see my major challenge. So my major challenge was literature review. I have submitted my first draft of my literature review, and if I speak about the challenges, so the first challenge was finding relevant sources, and it was a bit difficult to find really relevant and credible sources to curriculum. And also for me it was a bit difficult to choose specific appropriate theme that I will display, that I will outline within my literature. So firstly, I made a decision to describe precise definition of curriculum. So what does the curriculum mean, and how is it represented in literature? And then I wrote about curriculum development and curriculum reforms. So curriculum development has got different theories, and actually it varies in many the works of many scholars. And curriculum reforms and why countries reform their curriculum, it was also a bit difficult because there are many developed countries who initiated reforms. And I decided to choose several of them, those countries who are very famous for educational developments, like Singapore, like United Kingdom. And when I wrote about the curriculum reforms and curriculum development, I tried to establish connection to Kazakhstani context. In what way these reforms are represented in our context. And another important point in my literature review was about the challenges that teachers face in the process of curriculum implementation. And here I also wanted to build a linkage to teachers' pedagogy and learner-centered pedagogy. So I wanted to give explanation of what is teachers' pedagogy and also what is learner-centered pedagogy and why is it important element of curriculum development and how it has to be implemented into curriculum and how it has to be how does curriculum impact a teacher's pedagogy? How does curriculum fulfill the shift from teacher-centered to learner-centered pedagogy? I'm not sure that I explained it well in my literature review. Right now I'm waiting for the feedback from my thesis supervisor, so I do hope that I will be able to outline my best literature review in time. I think the topics that I'm right now investigating is very up to date, and right now we are under the curriculum reform implementation. And if you have got some ideas, suggestions related to updated curriculum and how I can outline it within literature review, you can share with me. You're welcome to do that, and I will really appreciate that. So, and the last one, the last challenge. So maybe it's not really a challenge, but in my proposal I wrote that there will be purposeful sampling. There will be 4 teachers from rural school and 4 teachers from urban school. So overall, there will be 8 teachers who will take participation in my interview. I don't know whether this number of teachers are sufficient to answer my research questions. I do understand that 8 teachers, and I need to transcribe the interviews, I need to translate them into English. So actually it is very time consuming. But do I have to increase the number of teachers or do I have to decrease the number of teachers? I'm not sure right now about that. So that's why I seek your help in this matter. So maybe you can suggest me in this case. So, and right now, at this moment, I'm working on my literature review, on my research design. So I do hope that I will be able to accomplish my research and outline it successfully in my thesis writing. So thank you for your attention. I'm really sorry for late submission, and if you have got something to share with me, some kind of suggestions or recommendations, you're welcome to do that, and I will really appreciate that. So thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. Good luck.